All right. Welcome back, folks. I am super pumped to do another video here.
That's super contagious, by the way, Chad. I find myself saying super pumped now all the time. That might be your single greatest contribution so far to the real estate investing community. Super pumped.
I hope to contribute more than just 2 words, but we'll take what we can get. Guys, I'm excited today. I have with us Judah Hoover, who has potentially interacted with more investors than anyone I've ever met in lots of different ways. He's done podcasts, he's helped clients, he's built businesses, he's for sure run meetups. And what I wanted, Judah, well, first off, Judah, welcome to the Real Estate Hackers Show.
Hey, buddy.
Cool.
Yeah, this is great. Thanks for having me. And I really think that this is a great platform. It takes me back to when I used to do these in the middle of the pandemic. Josh Weidman and I every day we're putting out an hour worth of content using StreamYard here on social media. So I think this is wonderful that what you're doing. I appreciate the content and applaud you for your efforts to pour into the real estate investing community.
Cool. So, we're trying out different formats here across our 4 different platforms, and we're getting some good feedback. So we'll see where this goes. The topic for today is it's a short one, but it's you've seen so many different types of investors. Some lead to wild success, others lead to never really kind of hitting the mark or hitting the goals.
Yeah, the bomb outs and the strikeouts, they don't write many books, do they?
No.
So it can there's kind of this success bias and success orientation to real estate, which is really great. But I think it's also important to know what doesn't work. And maybe we could talk about that, another time. But I think that Chad, you and I and other people like us are uniquely positioned to be able to talk about what actually works. And what doesn't work, because we see it both sides. Like, we see the people who are successful and we see the unfortunate former real estate investors and kind of the path that led them there.
Yeah. So to simplify this, the question I wanted to pose to you, Judah, is the top 3 traits you find in common with the folks you've met along the way who end up being successful. And I want to frame this before you answer is that doesn't mean they're multi-billionaires in real estate. Right. Success is driven. If someone's goal is to acquire 6 single-family homes, 1 a year for 6 years, and they hit the metrics they set out to hit, that's success. That's great. So
think of what just an extra $1,000 a month would do for the average real estate and for the average person in America. This is one of my greatest critiques about network marketing, actually, another business that I've got a lot of love for, but they kind of define success too high, that you're going to be a millionaire. You've got to be a millionaire. There's a lot of people I know in the real estate investing space and in other, having a side hustle and other businesses like that who are making an extra $1,000 a month. So yeah, you're exactly right. Success can look like all kinds of things to all different people.
Cool. And I think Judah, what three traits successful investors?
Yeah. So trait number 1 is definitely being action oriented. And I think it's just absolutely critical that I always tell my club and my groom whenever I'm speaking, knowledge is not power, action is power. The only people who will tell you knowledge is power are usually looking to sell you a book, tape, seminar. And the other example that I use is I say, Chad, if you read 5 books, now I'm a reader. I'm always reading 5 books at once. So I'm reading right now, by the way, Shoe Dogs, which you recommended. I'm like 90% of the way done with it. Really good book for a bunch of different reasons. So I love reading. However, I think if you read 5 books on swimming and I spent just 5 minutes in the pool, who's going to know more about swimming? you or me. I think if you read Shoe Dogs and a bunch of other books about how to become a runner, and I got up at 5 a.m. and went for a 1.5 mile run, not even a huge long run, just I would know more about running than somebody who read a bunch of books. There's just something that can't be taken away from actually taking knowledge and rolling up your sleeves and
Agreed. Yeah, I always say just go buy a single family home is it's kind of my version of that, but I definitely no question about it. Cool. Second one
is have an abundance mindset. One of the things that I love the most about real estate investors is you'll have two real estate investors usually get this, where they'll help one another. But you've got to have an abundance mindset. You've got to have a positive mindset. You're going to have problems in real estate, and you become successful in real estate if you recognize there's going to be problems. If there was no problems, there would be no margin in real estate. So there's going to be problems, and you've got to have an abundance, optimistic, positive framing to everything that happens. You've got to be willing to be positive and solve problems. And I was a hurdler in high school. I wasn't surprised that there was hurdles there. I expected the hurdles. I knew there was going to be hurdles, and because I knew there was going to be hurdles, I was successful at my races.
Were you really a hurdler?
I was 110 high hurdles, dude. And I got to tell you, Chad, you're a distance runner. I've done some distance running. The most tired you ever are is after 300 low hurdles.
I've never done hurdles. I would say really quick on the abundance thing. It's interesting. When I started in real estate, I was at first thinking that our best bet would be actually being like very coy and not telling people what I was up to. And I found that over time, I actually had more success by telling people what I was doing, which is weird. I mean, that's kind of against what you'd think about strategy. Normally you'd think like hold it in and don't tell people what you're up to. But
there is no stealth mode in the real estate investing world. In startups and in VC and other than in the tech world, you definitely want your company to be in stealth mode for a while. In real estate investing, there is no stealth mode. You got to get out there and tell the world. The way I always say it is, if you let yourself on fire, the world will come to watch you burn, and that's really what you want.
Cool. Third one, let's hear it, Judah.
Yeah, so you've just got to be grounded in reality. It's kind of is an interesting dichotomy now that I think about it from what we just talked about. So you've got to definitely have a positive mindset, but you've also got to focus on the numbers saying what the numbers say, not what you want them to say. Right. One of my first mentors taught me that I'd rather be upset about the deal I didn't do than be upset about the deal I did do. So you and that also kind of goes against the first rule. So there's kind of a lot that you've got to hold in balance, but it's very important that you are grounded in reality. You understand that this is going to take work. It is going to take an hour or two a day or more, depending on what your goals are and how quick you want to get there. It is going to take some work. There is going to be adversity. You are going to have to face those problems head on and recognize what those problems are. I always tell people that I've never finished a rehab on time or on budget, and I've certainly never finished one on time and on budget. Things are just gonna go wrong, and when they go wrong, you've got to look at what the numbers and what the situation is, not what you wish the situation was.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
It does. I think this may be the hardest for me. I often am told I'm not grounded in reality. So I think I find that one thing that helps me a little on this one, and I agree with you, by the way, I think being grounded in reality is important. I actually think it's really helpful to show a deal to a naysayer. And you know the kind of people we're talking about. Nate's, by the way, the best at this. So if I show him, he will tell me why it's not going to work.
Right.
And by the way, that's actually really helpful. Yeah. Because the person who's like always optimistic sometimes doesn't see the negative things that can go wrong. And having that negative person, not negative person, but the person who's super grounded in reality, kind of give their why this can't work, does a lot for, I find, for
This is my
helping
biggest weakness, Chad. I am optimistic to a fault. I am crazy positive. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm and high energy too. So this is definitely a challenge for me. But it's something that I always remind myself is to focus on what the numbers say, not what I wish they said.
Cool. Last comment here from the crowd. What is a good question? What do you find among all, not just yourself? We talk about us, you and I. What's the hardest? What do you find? The average person who walks into your real estate meetup, or you talk to online, or a new investor.
Oh, take action. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, for me, I just said it is my hardest is staying grounded. For the average person out there, it is take action. And I don't think they even recognize that they're not taking action or recognize that they've lulled themselves into a non-action oriented state. And there's a huge business out there. The real estate information business doesn't care if you take action or not. The real estate information business just wants you to buy another course, buy another seminar, buy some more coaching, that type of thing. Whereas, I love suspending disbelief. I love going to watch Robert Downey Jr. in Iron Man and pretending I'm Iron Man, right? I love making believe and imagining as if. That's what Hollywood is based on, and that's fine. Pretending as if is what we do. It's a big problem. I'm watching Jeremy Renner's Mayor of Kingstown, and I'm thinking, man, if I was that, what would I do? And how would I say this and everything like that? The problem is that same mindset, without even people realizing it, is what happens when people go to success seminars and go to Tony Robbins, who I love, by the way, and go even to my meetups and listen to Chad's podcast and other things like that. Realize that they're not actually educating themselves to take action. It's just entertainment for them. And education without action is just entertainment. And so if I was going to do one thing to encourage people, I would say just like Chad said, buy a single family house, buy a starter level single family house that's well located. It's very hard to get hurt. It's very hard to lose money on that deal. And you'll at least be in the pool, swimming around, making some money as a real estate investor.
Cool. Judah, we put your contact info below. Final thoughts? What's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, so by all means, check me out, Central PA Real Estate Investors Group on Facebook. Chad and Cassie both helped me, as moderators there. I've grown that group to over 13,000 people of Central PA Real Estate Investors. That's my personal cell phone and my email address. Don't call me during church on Sunday mornings or after midnight, but other than that, you can call me or text me anytime. I'm one of these sick, twisted individuals that genuinely enjoys what I like doing. So call me about real estate anytime.
Judah, thanks for joining us, buddy. Take care.
See ya.